Hi everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Vittoria Totaro, a PhD candidate in sociology at the University of New Mexico. The project I'm sharing is called Sustainable Farmers' Mental Health in a Changing Climate, a socio-ecological study. I grew up in New Mexico and I came to this work through a deep concern about climate change, one solution to which was small-scale sustainable agriculture. And that led me to ask, what stress comes with trying to farm sustainably nowadays? Mental health in agriculture is under-researched, especially for sustainable farmers facing climate change. In New Mexico, drought and record heat are now the norm. Farmers are watching their water disappear and seasons shift. Sustainable farmers are the first to adapt and the last to get help. If they falter, local food systems and ecological stewardship suffer. We measure what they grow and what they lose, but not what it costs them mentally to keep going. Without that insight, support programs and policies miss the mark. Farming in New Mexico goes back millennia. First indigenous communities and later Spanish land grant holders built watering systems, tested growing methods, and adapted plants to this region. Today's sustainable farmers carry on that legacy. They rotate crops, conserve water, and rebuild soil, all while facing intensifying climate pressure. The Rio Grande is drying, seasons are shifting, and small-scale producers are often left out of policy conversations. This landscape shapes every decision they make, including whether they stay on the land at all. The study asks, how do sustainable farmers navigate mental health challenges in the face of climate stress? We know that farming is stressful, but we know far less about how that plays out under climate crisis, especially in arid regions. These farmers aren't just adapting to change, they're trying to work with it. They face water scarcity, uncertain income, and policies that don't meet their needs, and yet they keep going. That perseverance is not accidental. It's shaped by beliefs, identity, support, and connection to land. I'm interviewing 15 sustainable farmers across New Mexico. 7 are complete so far. These interviews are semi-structured, allowing open-ended conversation guided by key questions. This flexibility helps to capture the full complexity of their experiences. Each participant also completed a short socio-demographic survey to provide context. And for analysis, I'm using a combination of deductive and inductive coding, starting with a framework but staying open to new themes emerging directly from what farmers say. About 70% of my sample are over age 35. Nearly 30% identify as Hispanic or Latino. All of them are farming on less than 5 acres, and more than half have been practicing sustainable farming for over a decade. This gives us a picture of experienced small-scale producers who are deeply tied to their land and way of life. 3 main stressors came up in interviews. First, obligation to the land. One farmer told me, "I'd hate to be the one to break the cycle. My mom wouldn't let me up into heaven if I gave up." Beneath this humor is a deep responsibility to family, land, and the knowledge they carry. Much of it lives in their heads: water systems, pests, timing, soil, and that's hard to pass on and even harder to entrust to someone else. Then there's burnout. You don't stop. There's no sick days, no holidays. I can't remember the last time I felt rested. Farming is physical, logistical, emotional, and sometimes spiritual work. With little reliable help, the exhaustion builds. Burnout doesn't just drain energy, it clouds judgment, slows planning, and undermines resilience. Third, economic anxiety. I'm one bad season away from losing it all, and the weather doesn't care how much work I've put in. Margins are thin, climate change increases unpredictability. Farmers can do everything right and still lose the crop. That fear makes it hard to rest, plan, and invest. Despite those stressors, farmers also shared some strategies that help them persevere. First, the land is a source of stability. Just walking the land calms me down. I get my head straight out there. This isn't symbolic, it's grounding. Even when everything feels uncertain, the land offers structure and meaning to this farmer. Second, hope and faith. You always have to have hope. It's seasonal, like the work. Even after disaster, you plant again. Hope here is practical and cyclical. Whether tied to spirituality, tradition, or lived experience, it helps farmers return to their work after hardship. Well, another farmer said something akin to, every seed is tied to hope. The next is proactive climate adaptation. You can't stop the drought, but you can prepare for it. Adjusting the planting dates, trying new irrigation, shifting crops, these are all technical solutions, yes, but they also restore a sense of control. That agency is vital for mental health. Supporting sustainable farmers means recognizing that mental health is shaped by land, legacy, and climate pressure. Peer-to-peer networks offer trusted support for stress and burnout. Relief policies help farmers recover from climate shocks and invest in adaptation. Land access protections ease the long-term burden of stewardship, and structured sabbatical programs with trained farmers or caretakers stepping in can give farmers a chance to rest without walking away from the land they love. Thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful to the farmers who shared their stories and to everyone working to support them. If you'd like to learn more, collaborate, or just stay in touch, feel free to reach out. Thank you.